Well, it's that time of year again, and I hope I have everything ready to go. XT3, Canon M50, filming with the DJI Osmo Action, and of course, my trusted laptop. Welcome to VKNVN, everyone. Tet Holiday is here again in 2025, and of course, I will be heading back to the countryside, so join me along the way. Alright, so first day in the countryside, and I'll be honest, it doesn't look good. Number one, I look like trash, and number two, the weather is just not cooperating. As you guys can see at the moment in the countryside, it is not only cold, but also raining, and that combination is a good recipe for getting sick. So to give you guys an idea of more what the weather is like, you guys can see that the ground here is quite wet and definitely not ideal for a holiday. And future forecasts predicts that I think it's going to be like this throughout Tet Holiday. Unfortunately, this probably restricts me from doing a lot of things because I am in the countryside and it is a bit more difficult. Sorry about that. I had to stop it because someone was coming. I didn't want to film them. You guys can see from that flag up there how windy it is. And then basically we'll just head back. And yeah, I hope that the weather improves so that I can go do a few things that I plan that I set out to do. Just to give you guys another look of how much trash I look like. It's roughly 11 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, and I haven't really done anything because the cold weather just really, hampers your style. And I'll show you a bit more, and then we'll get right to it. Again, that dog hates me. So just to show you a bit more about the countryside and what life here is like, this is the bed I actually sleep on while I'm staying here. And at the moment, you guys can see in winter, my relatives put a mattress here. This not only makes it a lot more comfortable, but it keeps you warm at night. However, in the summer, this mattress is removed because, of course, summers in Vietnam is quite hot. And basically, what you are sleeping on throughout the summer months is a wooden plank. Although really great for your back, highly uncomfortable when you wake up, especially if you're not used to it. And to the back of me or behind me is a mosquito net. Many Vietnamese families sleep with one, including in the city. However, the mosquitoes in the countryside are so much bigger and more prevalent. Aside from the hard surface that I actually have to sleep on, which makes my back ache whenever I wake up, and I'm pretty sure this is common with a lot of people, is I'm very specific about the pillow I use. And while these pillows are, I'm pretty sure, sufficient for most people, I'm very picky about the pillow I use, and it has to be a certain height and a certain softness. So again, that only adds to my discomfort, not only waking up with a sore back, but a bit of a sore neck. However, throughout the morning as I stretch, it eventually goes away, and actually it makes my body feel quite refreshed. So aside from the bed, while I'm here, this is basically my workstation. I think one of the things is they don't really have a proper desk here, so I actually have to use this makeshift table. And it's pretty comfortable. However, whenever I sit too long and crossing my legs, it does, my legs begin to stiffen up. Don't criticize the decorations as they actually help me to concentrate and develop my creativity. So one interesting story about my trip to the countryside was that the coaches that you take from city to city often have their business card plastered on the windows of their buses. and just in case if you leave anything there, you can actually contact them and they'll return it. Now, me, I never thought about doing something like that, and unfortunately, I left my tripod on the bus. So not having their contact information, basically, I thought my trusted tripod that I essentially needed for this trip was basically lost forever. However, when paying them, I did pay by bank transfer, so I referred to that, and luckily, on the bank transfer receipt, there was the person's number, and I had a relative call them, and fortunately, this morning, they returned my tripod, and I can actually film properly. That's one of the great things about Vietnam. It's pretty flexible with the things that you do. And if you actually want to get something done, you can do it. So unfortunately, I didn't get anything done today. I think it was because of the shock of the weather change. Yesterday was relatively warm, uh, and then today was quite cold. So basically, I stayed in most of the day, and the only filming you saw was what I did. However, I did manage to go out and get this razor, which of course I desperately need. I'll probably just spend the rest of my evening watching videos on YouTube. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
So it is my second day here in the countryside, and it wouldn't be complete if I didn't visit the local gym. Today is definitely a drastic change from yesterday. As you guys can see in the background behind me, there's no more rain, the sun is out, we see clear blue skies, and it definitely had given me a lot of motivation given the reason I traveled to the gym today. Of course, yesterday, who wants to drive in dreary, cold, and wet weather? So I filmed this gym in another video if you want to check out my channel. So I won't talk about it too much today. Unfortunately, or fortunately, not much has changed. I haven't been here in about 2 years, but I believe they do have something new, which is this JBL speaker and this punching bag, which looks pretty old, but still you have something, another addition to the gym. So whenever I do come to the gym in Vietnam, it's pretty relaxing. As I've said in my last video, again, I'm here today, no one is here, I'm free to do whatever I want, and I usually spend about, at least 2.5 hours here. This is basically my relaxing time, and of course, in the gym, with no one around, you feel I'm free to film and do whatever I like. And just to take you a bit of what I'm doing today, we are doing chess. Of course, Monday is Universal Chess Day. Uh, and I know this is not a exercise video, but you guys can see the dumbbells are a bit older, but that's fine as long as they're safe to operate and not gonna fall on my head. It should be fun. So that ends my gym session for today. Unfortunately, I can't find the owner to pay him, but of course I'll be back tomorrow. And if I don't see him, I can always get my relatives to pay him the fee. Again, that's what I like about these types of gyms. They're basically based on an honesty system, honor system. And you can just come and go as you please.
So we reached the back area of my relative's home, and this entire area is basically used for farming fish. As you guys can see, there are these bodies of water, but the one in front of you, just over there, uh, they seem to have covered it up. I'm not sure what they're going to use it for, but this is the real countryside of Vietnam. So there's no better backdrop to represent the countryside than having a cow behind me. Now, of course, I know they're pretty docile animals, but just to be sure and to be careful, I try my best to keep the distance. One of the things that you have to be aware of too whenever you are walking around the countryside is not to step in cow poop or dog poop, as most places are kind of, it's littered a bit, not everywhere, but it's more than usual. There was one day throughout Tet that God or Buddha, whatever spirit out there, would give us a fantastic day, and this is just representative of what I enjoy about coming to the countryside a lot. You guys can see clear blue skies, just amazing scenery behind us, and the sun is out. So definitely a great day, and hopefully it keeps up throughout the whole of Tet Holiday. So it's my third day here in the countryside during Tet Holiday, and aside from going to the gym, another place I like to visit is this area. Now, I've already shown this in my other video, but I want to give a bit more detail on why people like to visit this area. As many people know, in the rural parts of Vietnam, there's really not much to do, so I assume that the local government around here built this not only for children to play, but for people to gather and to enjoy themselves. Aside from this swing itself, the entire area is actually quite beautiful with the rice paddies behind me, and just having the sunset during this time, it just provides an amazing view and for locals to visit. So there wasn't really much for me to do today, as this is New Year's Eve for Tet Holiday, and many people are actually decorating and cleaning up, making last minute purchases. For me, the day basically consisted of waking up, going to the gym again, and then coming here. Definitely the best part about coming here is just the scenery, not really the swing, as I'm too old for that, but just to give you guys a view of what it looks like. Uh, yeah, you just have that entire thing right behind me with the rice patties. Of course, you can't get my face right now because the lighting, but if we go this way, is a lot much better. So, this is the countryside of Vietnam. So we have finally arrived on the first day of Tet, and unfortunately, there's really not much going on for me today. What most families will do on the first day is, of course, have a big lunch with the closest of relatives, and then from there they would walk around the village, visiting each other relatives' houses and giving out lucky money, drinking tea, and of course, the children would be having snacks. I decided to forego it this year because I just wasn't really in the mood. Um, it's actually not my year, given it being the year of the snake. And families would come back, have a big dinner, and then go out again to other relatives' house, and of course, rinse and repeat. So, unfortunately, as I said before, I won't be doing much today. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow. So of course, from the last few clips in my video, you guys noticed that I'm actually back in the city of Hanoi. My experience during Tet Lunar New Year in the countryside was quite relaxful. However, I can only spend so much time there as it is not my own home, and I really do prefer sleeping in my own bed. If you have any questions about the countryside, or you have any ideas of topics that you want me to make a video on, please leave them in the comments. overall, I hope you guys have a great 2025. And again, Happy New Year.